The Robins travelled down to Kent on Saturday on a sunny afternoon against Bromley, but it was not a good afternoon. We came away with a 3-1 defeat, and we're talking to manager Phil Parkinson. Phil, wasn't a great afternoon for us, but we played well enough in terms of the game, and for the majority of the first half, I thought we were the better side, but conceded an early goal, and then once we got back in the game, conceded two bad goals.
Yeah, really, really disappointed with our defensive display yesterday. It was well below par. There's no excuses. People can see that I'm trying to bring him forwards, so we're going to score his goals. But after a defensive performance like that, it was diabolical, to say the least. I'm going to have to do something to fix that problem, let's put it that way. So I was really, really upset with the players yesterday because they let themselves down badly, doing the things that people suggest are our weaknesses in terms of being able to put a ball into the box and somebody just be able to get some kind of header on it and score a goal. Isn't acceptable. We've got players who can deal with them situations. I spent 4 hours analysing the Chesterfield game to illustrate that to the players, how well that they defended set pieces, long balls into the box against a lot more pressure than they were put under by Bromley. And by the way, taking nothing away from Bromley, they're a very, very good team. They're good at what they do. They've got the highest score in the league in Sheik in their ranks, which we made very clear that when he was anywhere around the box, we needed to have a heightened sense of awareness of where he was and what his movements might be and his ability to score a goal. He scores the first one. It was probably one of the easiest goals he will get because we didn't defend it very well. So the way he was able to just glide through the back line. And then we get back in the game and we look like we're going to go on and win comfortably because we're very comfortable in possession. Our in possession play, as you say, we've dominated the game, but it means nothing when you lose. So as I've always said, we don't play possession based football just to look pretty because it's the fashionable thing to do because the FA tell you to do it, or Man City are absolutely showing everybody how to do it in the Premiership. We do it because we believe in it, because it's brought us success. But it only brings you success if you can defend well as well. So part of having the ball is so the opposition don't and they can't hurt you. But unfortunately, you can't go all game without conceding a free kick or a corner. So the fact that we've conceded straight away after we've scored when we're well on top is an absolute kick in the teeth. And the fact that we've conceded from a set piece that we've spoken to the players about at length that morning and showed them the main threat from a set piece and who should be picking him up, and we end up putting a winger on him, is massively, massively disappointing. I've got really experienced players out there who should know who the threats are and what was expected of them because they were told. So to say I'm disappointed is really short of the mark, and what I can reassure people is I will be doing something about this.
The second half was interesting because, again, we were in charge, played some good stuff, and yet Bromley had the better of the chances.
Yeah, you're right, but they didn't have many chances. So they've probably had 3 or 4 and scored 3. Second half, they probably pressed us a little bit more. Our football was great. That's probably our thinnest front line that we were able to put out this season with regards goal threat. And I was concerned about that before the game. So obviously I know you wanted to speak about injuries anyway, so I'll get onto that now. So we're waiting on a scan on Ryan Colclough to see if he's going to be able to finish the season because of the extent of the injury that he could potentially be facing, and we can't move on that until we know what that actually is. But his season he's hinging on the results on Monday, so we'll find out where we're up to with that. Dan Mooney's not too far away now. He's a big goal threat for us. Josh Hancock just basically needed a week off with all the games that he's played and his body. He was basically an injury waiting to happen, so he should be back next week, no problem. And Joe Piggott twinged his knee, and we knew that with Joe in terms of we're going to have to be careful, not overload it. So he should be fine next week, but we've gone there without probably 3 lads who would start a game for us in those positions in terms of wide, 10 and down the middle. And it showed we didn't have that goal threat with regards to the penetration we got. and it's really disappointing and hard to take, but we shouldn't be conceding those goals that we did, because they didn't have enough of the play, unlike when we played Chesterfield in the first 30 minutes, where they really pressed us, really come at us, put us under a lot of pressure that we weathered. I just can't put my finger on why we can't do that consistently when we do have an element of pressure from an opponent, and it was next to nothing compared to what we faced midweek. So it's really disappointing as a manager, really frustrating that the players can't hit them levels of consistency. But as I said, we've gone 5 games now, and we as a management team, me as a manager, I say the group of players, we want to succeed. So we know what the issues are, and we'll do something about it. But we're also not about knee-jerk reactions as well, just bringing 5 or 6 new lads in for the sake of it. But if I can improve this squad, I won't be letting this season fizzle out. We'll be going right to the end, because we want to know if we're not in and around the playoffs, which we don't look like we've got a cat in hell's chance at the moment, because we're getting beat by the best teams who will be in there, then we need to know what we've got to do for next season to make sure we are in and around it.
I'm sure you're glad to see the back of February, because it started so well with the victory at Torquay, but then five straight defeats and quite a bizarre month, really.
Yeah, the highs of Torquay, I was thinking about that today. I mean, it felt unbelievable how this is football, isn't it? It's a roller coaster of emotions, and we felt extremely high at Torquay, and then I could go through all the games where we're so close, Bri, so close, but we can't do what we did on Saturday in terms of give teams a 3-goal or 2-goal head start or whatever it is, or where we get to 1-1, we're back in it straight away, concede. We're comfortable in games, we're fit enough. The big issues that I'm seeing is obviously other teams who are full-time and have them extra resources at their disposal. Their lads are able to use things like gym facilities, and they are able to do the extra training, because it's not a fitness thing with us. We're the ones pushing at the end of the game, every single week. I was expecting a drop-off at some point. I think I've seen a small drop-off at Yeovil. But the performance levels have been exceptional from the players, and that's why I'm so frustrated. The fact that I feel that my arm's being forced to make changes, and that's something that I'm not about. We know the front line's not quite been right, and that's why I've been bringing in lots of different people, and I will do that. I'll keep changing things until I get it right. I don't care what people think about chopping and changing. I'm here to make sure that Altrincham Football Club are successful, and if that means I have to try every striker in non-league till I find the right one, I will. But I won't do it for the sake of doing it. People will be given a chance, to be given an opportunity. This club demands success, and we need to make sure that we've got the right personnel in the right position. So we will do that, and we'll continue to do that until we find the right people. But these players deserve a chance as well. So that's why they've been given chances. They've been given an amount of time to be able to do something. And we've seen where we're at as well. We've tasted success. We've been right at the top. And people will say, well, you played more games and you're being caught up now. But everyone could see that we could go to Torquay and win. But then we could easily just lose, as we have over the last couple of games. So it's probably give us a false sense of expectation with regards, if we were down the bottom, like some of the other teams have been all the way through, people would be thinking they're just happy with how it's going. But because we've been right up there, expectations have gone through the roof, and rightly so. But I must remind everyone, when we were in the league below, we were probably a mid-table budget team. We overachieved at that level, getting promoted. And now we're probably one of the bottom 2 or 3 with regards budgets, one of the bottom 2 or 3 with regards we're part-time. We're bridging them gaps. So I'm not giving you excuses here. I'm giving you facts. These are things that we're trying to sort out. We're trying to amend. We're trying to bridge the gap. But we'll always be doing that because we are one of the smaller clubs, not by history, not by pride, just by budgets, fans, in terms of the amount of fans people get, the income generators in terms of chairmen who have lots more money than what we have. We have fantastic people who bring money into the club. We're fighting battles on multiple fronts. But what we have got is a very good group of players, a very good board, a very good fan base, and we are all in it together. And like I said, I'll do anything to make sure this club's successful. And I just want to reassure people that we aren't standing still.
3 months left of the season, 18 games, that's 54 points. So there's an awful lot of points to play for, and 12 of those are at home, starting with Woking on Tuesday.
Yep, there's got to be a reaction, hasn't there? And I felt there was in the second half. I threw down the gauntlet to the lads at half time and I said, it needs to be 100 times better in terms of out of possession. And it was. They had very little in the second half, which is frustrating because they shouldn't have had anything in the first half then. So that's consistency again. It shouldn't take me to threaten people at half time, to make sure they're aggressive enough when they're attacking the ball, they're bright enough if they can't win a physical battle. In terms of what side of the man to be awkward on and not allow him to get a clean header, or not allow him to be able to get the better of you, to make it messy in a tackle if they have to. All these things are the bits we can do and we've shown we can do, but we've got to do it every single week, and we're going to have to do it against Woking. We'll have to do it again the following game, because at this level battles to earn the right to play. Now, we played without winning that right yesterday, and that's why we lost, and we've got to get that right.
And Woking, similar position to us. If you look at the points per game table, I think we're 16th and they're 17th. They've had a little bit of an up and down season, but made really good progress in the FA Trophy, and now they're just one step from Wembley.
They're a very good team, really high energy. We like them. They're going to give us loads of problems. But if we can get everybody on the pitch that we know can hurt them, the players that I've just spoken to you about, then we know we can give them a lot of problems as well. If we can be defensively right, then we're a real match for anybody. So we've just got to sort out that consistency in terms of out of possession and what we're doing, what our jobs are, making sure we execute, making sure we're finding solutions rather than looking for excuses. Because when you lose, a lot of people do that. I know they do. It doesn't matter what I say. It's human nature. What are the problems here? And we've got to make sure that we're finding them solutions on the pitch, off the pitch, which we've always done and we will do moving forward.
And Jamal Lowes is an interesting character. Scored a few goals for Kings Lynn earlier in this season. Got the goal against Torquay yesterday, and certainly a man to watch.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. Like I said, we'll be making all the players very much aware, as we always do. We'll be in Monday evening to look at them and give them all the information that they need to be as prepared as they can going into that game. And obviously, he's a big threat for them.
And back to the J. Davidson Stadium, which is great news. And it's been fairly dry over the last few days, so hopefully the pitch will be in decent condition.
Yeah, well, as I said, the only reason we went to FC United when we spoke about it previously was because our pitch wasn't playable. I know people have got strong opinions on that, which amazes me because I thought we were about playing football games. That's what this football club's done. That's why we played more games than everybody else, because we've tried to do that. If it's had an effect on 2 performances, then we'll see when we're back there, won't we? So hopefully it can be a positive return, because we want to play at the J. Davidson. It's where our soul is. It's where we want to be. We've had so many fantastic days there, and we want to make sure that we can get a run going again. So at some point it's got to turn, because the performances are there, by the odd one, and hopefully it can be Tuesday when we do that.